Korean street toast is the most delicious breakfast sandwich of all time, but if you've tried one recipe, you've pretty much tried them all. So that got me thinking, how can we improve an almost perfect egg sandwich? Today I'm going to show you the 4 things I do to make a next level Korean street toast. We'll learn how to make a super simple, over-the-top steamed egg patty. I'll show you how to make the most flavorful cabbage fritter of your life, and I'll even explain why I started putting kimchi in my ketchup and gochujang in my mayonnaise. By the end of this video, you will be able to make the best Korean street toast ever. Because this is theoretically a breakfast sandwich, I want to address the egg first. In the traditional method, you mix the egg with the cabbage to make a type of crispy vegetable fritter, and we're going to stay true to this method, but I want to bring the egg to the forefront. So this is a perfect opportunity to share with you a foolproof method for making an extra large steamed egg patty in the oven. These are smooth, luxurious, and totally over the top. And the great thing about them is they can be made beforehand. And when you're ready for a sandwich, just stick them between 2 pieces of bread. To start, let's preheat our oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. For 2 sandwiches, whisk 8 eggs until the yolks and whites are homogeneous. Then pass the eggs through a strainer to remove any chunky bits. This is going to help us keep our egg patty smooth and silky. Add 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt and half a cup of milk or heavy cream and beat the egg mixture until everything is well combined. Conversely, you can toss everything for the egg mixture in a blender if you want to save on time. Then spray your baking dish with cooking spray and set it inside a larger baking vessel. Because we want to cook our eggs gently, we're going to bake them in a water bath. What this does is ensure they don't cook too fast, which would curdle them. Because water only goes up to 212 degrees before it turns into steam, the bottom of the eggs will cook slower and more gently, which helps them set into a smooth consistency before they curdle. I've baked these egg patties in all sorts of dishes, but I find this 9x5 silicone bread baking loaf pan to be the best. I'll include some links in the description if you want to pick one up, but if you don't, you can make these in whatever you have on hand. You just might have to experiment with the number of eggs you'll need. Then pass the egg mixture through the strainer again into your baking dish and cover it with tin foil. When your oven is preheated, fill the outer container with hot water up to the level of the eggs. Then place it on the middle rack of your oven. You'll bake these for about 40 minutes or until the eggs have completely set in the middle. When they're done, put them on a cooling rack and allow them to cool completely. And what I like to do is put a cutting board on top of the baking dish and flip it over like this. The eggs should fall right out. Then I'll cut the patty in half and trim the sides to fit my bread. And I'll show you what I do with the egg trimmings at the end of the video. Then store the patties until you're ready to make the sandwiches. They'll last for about 3 days in the fridge. Now, the Korean tendency to douse everything in 100 sauces is something akin to an obsessive compulsive disorder. So in keeping with this delicious tradition, today I'm going to show you the 2 sauces I make to bring some fresh but familiar flavors to our new and improved Korean street toast. The first is Kimchi Ketchup. The sweetness from the ketchup and the salty umami and spicy tartness of the kimchi really complement one another well, and it's super easy to make. Let's start by adding 1 cup of ketchup to a blender, then toss in 6 tablespoons of kimchi and any associated juices. And you'll need to add a bit of water to thin it out so it blends properly. Blend on high until you've got something that looks good to you, and you can adjust the seasoning with extra kimchi or ketchup. Next up is Gochujang Mayonnaise. This is basically the Korean version of sriracha mayonnaise, except slightly less cliche. Gochujang is a red pepper paste used in a ton of Korean dishes. Its taste is sweet, savory, and mildly spicy, and it's a perfect way to bring a really interesting flavor to standard mayonnaise. So let's add 1 cup of mayonnaise to a bowl, then toss in 4 teaspoons of gochujang, and please note, this stuff sticks to everything and it might be hard to get it out of your measuring spoon, so just do the best you can. Then add enough water to thin it out slightly. I added about 1 to 2 tablespoons here, and mix everything until it's thoroughly combined, and that's it. And you can adjust the seasoning with extra mayonnaise or gochujang. For the vegetable patties, the traditional method has you mix some cabbage, carrot, green onion, and salt with an egg and fry them like a hamburger patty. But in my wide-ranging tests for this video, I discovered that adding some flour and additional spices to the mix tends to yield a superior product in terms of both taste and texture. This is closer to a southern soul food style vegetable fritter than a Korean vegetable pancake. The flour helps the vegetables brown a bit more and distributes the seasoning more effectively. What I like to do is make a dredging mixture of 1 tablespoon all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, a pinch of white pepper, a pinch of black pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. In a separate bowl, let's add 1½ cups of thinly sliced cabbage, a 1/4 cup of grated carrot, 1 sliced scallion, and a 1/4 cup of thinly sliced onion. Then add some oil to a large pan over medium heat. After it's hot, toss all the vegetables with the seasoned flour. And I like to toss the vegetables in the flour right before I'm about to fry them. Because there's salt in the dredging mixture, it can draw out some liquid. So you want to do this as close to the cooking as possible. After the vegetables are fully coated, add 1 egg to them. Doing this after the vegetables are coated in flour will help prevent it from clumping. Combine until it's just fully incorporated, then divide the fritter mix into 2 portions and add them to your hot pan. Press down with a spatula and try to form a shape that is slightly larger than the bread you plan on using. And you want to give it enough time to brown on the bottom and form a nice crust. It should take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Then flip the fritters over and cook until the other side is done, which should take another couple of minutes. When they're done, set the vegetable patties aside until you're ready to make the sandwiches. Or after they're cooled down, you can store them in the fridge for about 3 days. When you're ready for the final assembly, let's toast 2 pieces of buttered bread in a large pan over medium heat. And you want to get both sides. I have no idea why some people only butter and toast one side of their bread. There's no reason to keep selling yourself short. When the toast is done, you should never just put it on a plate to cool down like this. The reason is that hot toast on a flat surface will create condensation. You know when you lift it up and there's that bit of moisture there? That's called toast sweat, and it's the #1 reason for soggy bread. We're trying to avoid this. Bun integrity is very important for a good sandwich. So it's always better to let your bread cool down on a wire rack so the air can circulate around it. While our bread is cooling off, let's heat up a couple pieces of thinly sliced deli ham and some mild cheddar cheese. The best-selling cheese in Korea is Seoul Milk Mild Cheddar, so I think just a standard sliced mild cheddar cheese gets you closest to the original flavor. While our ham and cheese is heating up, I like to add just a sprinkle of sugar to both slices of my toast. And I know sugar on a sandwich is unconventional to Western sensibilities, but just trust me, it really works. You'll often see Korean street food vendors add unmentionable amounts of sugar to their sandwiches. You basically need to make a beeline to your endocrinologist after eating one, but I like to add just a bit on both slices of my toast. It adds some texture as well as a sweetness that works really well with all the other savory and spicy flavors. Next, I'll add the kimchi ketchup to one side of my toast and the gochujang mayonnaise to the other. Then add the steamed egg patty, top it off with the fried vegetable fritter and the ham and cheese, and finish with your other toast. And this is a Korean street toast sandwich that will rival anything in Korea. Now let's give it a taste test. Really quick before we test this behemoth, I highly suggest cutting it in half. It makes it much easier to eat. I like to cut mine diagonally like this. It's all fun and games until somebody cuts their sandwich into rectangles. The diagonal cut is just much easier to eat and more aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. Alright, back to the taste test. This is one of the truly great sandwiches of the world, and I know a lot of people will balk at putting sugar on a sandwich, but just try it once because it does work. And the extra large egg patty, the crispy vegetable fritters, and the new and improved sauces just put it over the top. And really quick before we go, I want to show you how I use the egg trimmings from earlier. I like to toss them in some warm tortillas with a slice of bacon, some salsa, and a bit of sliced onion to make a delicious breakfast taco. And this recipe should give you enough to make about 4 of these. And if you'd like to learn how to make Mexican-style street corn with Japanese ingredients, be sure to check out this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.